I saw a warning on social media that America is running low on conspiracy theories, as all of them are now proving to be true, right? Well, it's a funny headline because the funniest of jokes are always based in truth. The left's accusation that we on the right only deal in wild conspiracy theories is now totally unraveling. This week has been a big week for truth, especially when it comes to the continuing barrage of evidence that the China virus not only originated in that Chinese lab in Wuhan, but Chinese scientists possibly engineered it to be a super killer.
This is a state actor acting and behaving as a criminal enterprise.
Everybody was aligned to suppress this story. I'm thankful that it's finally coming out.
We know that this coronavirus was, came out of something. It has somehow created in Wuhan, and we know the Chinese government covered it up.
Well, so folks, those are all well-respected lawmakers on this program this week. Yet for the past year, Fauci and his mainstream media fake news goons told us we were all crazy about the lab leak.
Because we don't know where the novel coronavirus came from yet, the conspiracy theories fill the void.
Coming up with a conspiracy theory to try and foment xenophobia.
We don't need to invoke conspiracy theories.
It's this question about the Wuhan lab. We know that it's been debunked.
Those same agencies now have been tapped with investigating one of Trump world's most favorite conspiracy theories.
This week, Donald Trump is still pushing the debunked bunkum, despite his own intelligence community's findings that is simply not true.
Well, folks, the debunked bunkum is now looking more and more like it is absolutely true. And thanks to President Trump, the media has lost all credibility. If President Trump runs again in 2024, his new slogan needs to be Trump right all along. The Daily Caller even wrote a piece on just this topic. Think about it. We also learned this week that President Trump never ordered the tear gassing of anti-Trump maniacs in this park to clear them out so he could walk to that burned out church. An Inspector General report confirmed the president had nothing to do with it, yet the devious media subjected our president and all of us to these lies over and over and over again.
He wanted to show that he could move Americans physically out of the way to do this photo op.
Obviously, the president wanted a photo op.
For a photo op?
To make way for a White House photo op.
Lafayette Square photo op to clear out these protesters from Lafayette Park so the president could have this photo op.
Is it bad of me that I take pleasure in this, that they are now so wrong so many times? I'm telling you, we are running out of conspiracy theories because they're all being proven to be true. Unlike the other mess-ups, I have not seen one outlet issue a retraction for that story. It's amazing how history continues to vindicate President Trump, isn't it? So I thought it would be fun to go through some of the older so-called Trump lies now proven to be true. You remember we were told Donald Trump lied about the Obama Justice Department wiretapping the Trump campaign and Trump Tower. Well, he didn't.
The Justice Department revealing it has found no evidence, zero evidence, that Trump Tower was ever wiretapped, as the president had alleged in a series of tweets.
CNN has learned that investigators wiretapped former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort under secret court order, both before and after the 2016 election.
It's hilarious if it wasn't so sad. This is how devious they are. I should be steaming mad, but right now I'm taking pleasure in exposing them for the frauds that they are. I love to watch and read the retractions, even though they never get as much publicity as the original fake news story. And don't forget about that infamous, but now made up, of course, Trump declaration to the Georgia Secretary of State's chief investigator. Find the fraud, we were told he said. Turns out he never said that. Yet still the media pounded us with this in an effort to make us turn on President Trump.
President Trump pressured a Georgia elections investigator in a separate phone call, urging the official to, quote, find the fraud.
President Trump called the state's chief elections investigator to, quote, find the fraud.
President Trump pressured another Georgia election official during a phone call to, quote, find the fraud.
I'm getting tired of being right, okay? The Washington Post, who broke that phony story, Find the Fraud, issued a retraction after audio of the phone call vindicated President Trump. He never, ever said it. As the Trump-hating media has proven, it is easy to break blockbuster stories when you simply just make them up. You see, even they know, once these tales of fiction are exposed as fake, it doesn't really matter. The damage has already been done. But there is some good news in all of this. What these anti-American wordsmiths have done, they've actually exposed themselves as more and more Americans recognize the media is what it is, a public relations arm of the new radicalized Democrat Party.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.